Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Angela, and before we get into today's paranormal video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I do post new videos every single week and I don't want you to miss out. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up, I would surely appreciate it. But with that being said, today's video is going to be me reading some paranormal stories of other people's experiences. Like I said, I want to start doing more videos like this in 2019. I'm very intrigued by the paranormal world and the supernatural, and not just my own experiences, but other people's experiences as well. So I went online and I found this website. I am going to be reading these stories. So basically, I found some stories on a website called the Occult Museum. And basically, the website has a bunch of stuff, not just paranormal stuff, but they have like a mixture of articles, and they also have reader-submitted ghost stories. So according to this website, these are all true. According to these people who submit these stories, all this stuff is true. And I thought it would be really fun to sit down with you guys and read some of other people's experiences, since you guys really seem to enjoy my last video about my personal paranormal experiences that I posted a couple of weeks ago. That being said, I was filming a video before this, a skincare review, and I jumped out of my seat because I'm filming in my office and I have Alexa in my living room, and I heard her start talking out of nowhere, and it gave me like a mini heart attack because I thought somebody was in my apartment. Also freaked me out because usually, I mean, she's not supposed to talk unless somebody talks to her, but maybe she heard me talking in here. Who knows? I don't know. I had the door closed though. It's never happened before and I thought it was really creepy. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these stories. So the title of this is From the Beyond, 13 People Share Their True Ghost Stories and Otherworldly Tales. And I also didn't read any of these because I want to be able to react with them with you guys. So I did read the first one because I wanted to make sure that these were like good stories. But other than that, I did not read any of the other ones. I just want to react with you guys and see how scared we can get, I guess. Okay, so the first story is called Sorry. When I was a kid, I woke up in the middle of the night to my bed shaking. Normally that would scare the crap out of me, but instead I was just kind of annoyed. I rolled over and muttered, "Stop it." The shaking stopped immediately. Then a male voice speaks right beside me saying, "Sorry." That's when I freaked out. I'm pretty sure my childhood house was haunted. That's creepy. That was giving me the chills as I was reading that. I can't even imagine, because this person was probably like in a state of mind where they were so tired and didn't even realize what was happening that they were just like, "Stop it." And then they heard somebody say, "Sorry," and totally freaked out. I feel like that's something I would do because I have had experiences where I thought something paranormal happened while I was sleeping, and you're just not in that state of mind where you're fully awake, so you don't realize. But once you do, it's like really creepy. Number 2 is called Noises in the Night. One night I was doing my usual stuff and watching some TV before bed. I had this overwhelming feeling all night that I should avoid the hallway and not look directly down it. It was creepy. The feeling of being watched and terrified lasted about 2 hours before I decided to suck it up and make my way to my room. I left the hallway lights on and went to bed. Just as I turned off the side table light, I heard a drawer being pulled out and hitting the stopper. I turned on the light and nothing was out of place. This went on about 6 times before I decided I was sleeping with the light on. I curled up under the covers and waited for the boyfriend to get home. He comes home rolling in about 3 a.m. He's laughing at me for being such a wussy, with a P. I'm not gonna say that word on my channel. Gets into bed and turned the light off, and that's when all hell broke loose. All the doors down the hallway slammed shut, one by one. Then our closet doors started rattling. The sound coming from inside could only be described as total destruction. It sounded like the shelves, the pole, and everything in there was being tossed around. I'm getting the creeps. The boyfriend joined me under the covers and we were both terrified. After it stopped, it took 5 to 10 minutes to convince him to go check around the house. Nothing was out of place, and our roommate had driven 3 hours back home that night to be with his family, so he knew it wasn't him. We slept with the light on the rest of the night and moved out soon after. I still can't drive by that house without being creeped out. You guys, I'm creeping myself out. I keep looking around, and this is why I shouldn't film this stuff when I'm home alone. But anyways, number 3 is The Man in the Hat. My son is 10 now, but when he was 3, he said he saw a man with a big hat standing in his bedroom doorway staring at him while he tried to sleep. The man disappeared after a while, but he could feel him sit down on his bed. He still randomly brings it up, so I don't think it was just a 3-year-old's overactive imagination. Yeah, that's creepy. If I had a kid who told me that, I would probably be creeped out. I definitely wouldn't be one of those parents that you know, just wrote it off and was like, oh, it's your imagination, I would probably, not in a good way, not intentionally, but probably, you know, freak my kid out even more because I would believe him. Number 4 is called driving home. I was driving home from work one night when I see a little girl on a tricycle riding across the street and into some woods that drop off into a creek. I brake and skid to avoid her and walk to where I thought she fell. I see no one and a cop pulls up to ask me what I am doing. I tell him he was the one person I needed. I was still in my security uniform. And I tell him that I saw a little girl riding her tricycle across the street heading into that area where it dropped off. He then tells me right away that I see what some other drivers here see. It was more than 40 years ago a child was killed riding her tricycle across that section of road. Others have seen her multiple times, sometimes walking, other times on her tricycle. After some construction brought change to that section of road with expansions and barriers, the sightings all ceased. Yeah, that's a creepy one. I don't really have anything to say about that one because I've never experienced anything like that, but if I did, I would be creeped out. Number 5, the dream. I woke up to get a glass of water at night, passed my dad on the way to the kitchen. I asked him something about where he was going. He walked right past me like he didn't see or even hear me, just was in a type of trance, and he walked out of the front door. I looked out the front window and he was sitting on our sidewalk under a tree, hands on his knees, staring into the dark. I went to my mom's room to ask her what dad was doing. She said, "What do you mean? He's right here." She scooted over and there was my dad laying in bed asleep. Oh, I got the chills. That's creepy. Oh my God, that's creepy as frick. Number 6, the voices. A long time ago, back when I was in high school, freshman or sophomore, my mom was out of town for some reason. My younger brother and 2 sisters were staying with my grandparents. I was home alone. Monday morning, I'm up waiting for my grandpa to come pick me up and give me a ride to school. We lived in an old historic 2-story house. I'm sitting downstairs in the living room watching TV. All of a sudden, I hear a man and a woman talking upstairs. Sounds like they are in my mom's room. I turned off the TV to hear better. I could distinctly hear a man and woman talking to each other. I could not hear individual words, just mumbling. I got up off the couch and started walking towards the stairs. As I am walking across the room, I hear a small child speak. Again, no individual words, but the sound of muffled voices talking. Pretty freaked out. The voices are definitely happening. As I approach the bottom stair, something upstairs in my mom's room hits the floor, like a semi-loud thud. To me, it seemed like someone pulled a dresser drawer too far out and it came out and hit the floor. The voices stopped immediately and I ran the fudge outside and waited for my grandpa. Middle of winter, no coat, did not care. Yeah, that's a creepy one. This reminds me of, actually, I totally had forgotten about it. My sister, in one of her old houses that she used to live in, they used to hear talking. I think it was over near their fireplace area. And they swear by it, my sister's entire family, that they would hear talking. And it was just so like clear that they would actually walk into the living room because they would hear voices and then it would stop. So yeah, that's what that reminded me of. That would be really creepy if I was hearing that. Number 7, footsteps. The only one I have is when I was in 4th grade. When I was little, I would always sleep with my door open. I went through a phase where I would wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. every night, and every single night I would hear footsteps walking up my stairs, around my living room, through my dining room, across my kitchen, and down my hallway. They would always stop right before my doorway, then turn around and go back into the basement. But one night they didn't stop. What I saw was a shadow of a little boy walk right in front of my doorway, look at me for a few seconds, then walked away, back down the stairs. I slept with the door closed the next night. Yeah, I probably would have slept in my parents' room the next night. And for the next couple of 10 years or so. Number 8, the waving hand. When I was a kid, I once woke up in the middle of the night, complete silence. I looked around the room and behind a wardrobe, I saw a small hand waving. Oh no, okay, that gave me the, woo! I saw a small hand waving at me. It was a little kid's hand. You guys, I have goosebumps. My arms are hairy AF, but do you see the hair standing up? Woo, okay, yeah, I don't like this one. Sorry, I probably totally ruined the effect of that. So basically, I looked around the room and behind a wardrobe, I saw a small hand waving at me. It was like a kid's hand. It was dark, but I remember seeing it so clearly. I could see each finger. I started crying and screaming, and my parents had to check my room a few times before I would fall asleep. These kids are brave, talking about all this stuff happening in their room and they're going back to sleep in their room. I slept with my mom until a pretty old age already without paranormal stuff happening because I was a scaredy cat, this would have totally screwed me up. Number 9, the painting. My grandparents used to have a really beautiful painting of my aunt hanging in their living room. And yes, she is still alive. Anyways, when I was about 5 or 6, I was sleeping in their living room one night when I heard it talking to me. It was her voice and it talked to me just like she would have. It was weird because I was really calm and not scared, even talking back. But I knew that paintings don't talk. Eventually, she told me to go wake up my grandpa and tell him she wants to talk to him. I went and woke him up, and when he realized I was talking about the painting, he got really pissed. He was yelling at me when he suddenly stopped and stared out the window. Then his eyes got wide and told me to hide in his bedroom and tell my grandma to call the police. He then grabbed a pistol he had hidden in his cabinet and ran outside. While she was on the phone, we heard 2 shots. He came back in after a few minutes and told us he shot one of the guys trying to break into his house in the arm, but they all got away. It turns out that a prison of minors about 20 miles away had 3 escapees. They ran through the woods until they came to my grandpa's property and planned on looting what they could and use us as hostages if necessary. That is until my aunt's painting woke me up and told me to wake him up. That's crazy. Stories like these ones don't really creep me out so much because I feel like obviously that's a spirit that had good intentions. It was trying to warn them that something bad is going to happen. Number 10 is called the hand. Okay, we have another hand one. When I was around 12, me, my cousin, and my brother were building a snow igloo in my grandma's backyard. We had the whole dome complete, and we were working on the inside, making the walls smooth, when I accidentally smoothed it a little too much, and a little hole on the outside formed. Instantly, a little hand shot through the hole and started reaching around, trying to grab something. At first, none of us in the igloo really freaked out since we thought it was my little sister trying to break our fort. After grasping around for about 10 seconds, the hand pulled itself back out of the hole. However, when we went out to scold my sister, there was no one there, and there were no footsteps out there apart from our own. Oh, that's creepy. Number 11, the man with the black eyes. I'm already not looking forward to reading this one. When I was a teenager, I used to babysit my cousin Alyssa. She was little, maybe almost 2, maybe a little older, old enough to say sentences. I'm giving her a bath before bed when she looks out into the hallway and gets a terrified look on her face and starts crying. At this moment, my aunt's Pomeranian starts going nuts as well, barking and growling into the hallway. The atmosphere in the room became uncomfortable and I started getting scared. I took her downstairs from the 3rd floor in the townhouse to try and calm her down. I asked her what was wrong, and she said something along the lines of, the man with the black eyes was there. When I continued to pry, she looked up at the 2nd floor stairs, her eyes getting big, and looks at me, bringing her finger up to her mouth and said, shh, while shaking her head, no. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I don't like that. That's like a bad sign because, first of all, if I was babysitting a kid and that happened, that would really freak me out because obviously kids, I do believe that kids can see things, I guess, more than adults can because they're so young. They're easier to access. They're not, I don't want to say they're gullible because they have such great imaginations. And I just think that their minds are easier to access. And then the dog started going crazy, which, yeah, that's terrifying. That really would have creeped me out. Number 12. Okay, I'm creeping myself out. Number 12 is called Child's Play. On my previous job, when our building was still under construction, the only floors that were occupied were the 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, and 7th. One time, I was alone under the elevator going from 1st to the 6th floor, when suddenly it stopped and opened on the 3rd floor. Oh no. Normally, I would just disregard it, but rumors were all over that a ghost child was playing around on the vacant floors, so I pressed the close button as fast as I could. When it closed, I heard noises like someone was tapping their fingers on the walls of the elevator. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm really getting the heebie-jeebies. 13, the last one, thank God. 13, the prankster. I lived in this house with a basement, and every time I walked upstairs, I would get this weird, creepy goosebumps feeling on the back of my neck. It didn't make me uneasy to go down the stairs or be in the basement. After a while, I would have items I was using disappear when I would look away from them. I would search, and one day I got frustrated to no one in particular. I said, "Can I please have my scissors back?" I had just looked under the pile of new mail, and when I turned my head, there were my scissors on top of the pile of mail. I talked to my neighbor, and she told me that the original owner of the house was a jolly old man who loved to prank people, and that he had fallen coming up the stairs one day and died. Oh my God, that's horrible. I think the goosebumps were him trying to tell me to be careful, and every time after that, when something would disappear, I would politely ask for it back, and it would appear in a place that I could not have missed it before. That's actually really cool. I'm glad that's the last one. That's actually a cool place to end it, on a happy one. I've heard stories of, you know, ghosts being pranksters like that. I mean, obviously it makes sense if somebody is a prankster, likes to pull pranks and make people laugh, you know, when they're alive. You know, if the afterlife does exist, then they probably like to do the same thing in the afterlife. So at least he wasn't trying to harm this person. He was just trying to, like, I don't know, find some way to laugh and just play jokes like he did when he was alive. But yeah, that was the last story, guys. That's really all I have for you guys today. I would love some ideas in the comment section of some paranormal videos you would like to see from me in the future. I was looking up some cases on like exorcisms or just like unsolved like paranormal stories. If you have like any like stories you would like me to tell or anything you would like me to read, any cases that really interest you that you would like me to research and do a like full video on, please comment below because I really want to start making paranormal content that you guys really like. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today. I will link the website below, the article below, if you guys want to go read it yourself or check out more of their stuff. I really like their website, so I will probably be using more of their stuff in the future. But I'm going to stop talking now, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!